though, and talk to me, don't talk to the camera.
Okay. So have I ever acted in an unlovable manner and been loved anyway? All the time. I mean, what in the last 5 minutes?
So I teach middle school, so I am unlovable and loved every single moment of my workday. I also am unlovable and get all kinds of love in the folk orchestra here because I am really, really bad, and they don't seem sad to see me back every day, so that's also a very nice part of my day.
I know that at times that I don't deserve the love that some of my friends and family give me, and I have just decided not to tell them that I don't deserve it, but just to take it in and enjoy the heck out of it.
Usually I get a lot of love from the folks that I work with. And they kind of know where I am in the day and what's going on, so they know the difference between my mean face and my frowning thinking. And so, yeah, I think, there's times when I've done both of those things.
When I've acted most unlovably is actually when I am most desperately trying to seek love and affection and approval. So the more I am trying to prove myself and be worthy and try hard, the more I push against folks in ways that are uncomfortable.
It's like I'll care something about something and I can lose the fact that there's other people with me and that they're people and not just there to do what I'm doing. And I've really worked in the past year and a half to reconnect with the human element and really make connections with the people I'm doing my activities with. Like I play music, and it's about the people that I play the music with and not just the music. So that's, yeah.
And so then how do people show you love? Even when you're acting like that, how do you know they're showing you love?
They'll still invite me in, and we'll have fun and do things together, even when I've been really not enjoyable to be around during a rehearsal or something. And we'll still all go and hang out, and we can be people outside of that, even when I'm not really making that easy.
Struggle with mental history, and so when I have a personal relapse, oh darn it, I don't feel good again, and a really not that great, I don't feel good, it can be disappointing for my family and those who have tried to help me, because there's so much energy and support put into me, and thank you. And then I just kind of forget to pick up the pieces. But people still help me anyway. And that's really just so amazing to me.
I'm thinking about a few years ago when I had my knee replaced and was suffering in fairly significant pain. My friend Sidra, who was fighting breast cancer, came over and lay on my bed next to me and helped me count through my exercises so that I could stand the pain to do the exercises so that I could get better. She was a wonderful friend. Some of you may have known her. I miss her every day.
I've been pretty sick for a couple of years, and I have a lot of bad days where I'm under the weather and snippy and mean and grumpy, and I have a great family who walks me through it and loves me through it and has infinite patience with me, so it's pretty nice.
I used to be kind of wild, and I met this girl, and we were married for 49 years, and she trained me before she died.
My very first SI, and I was here with my mentee from Coming of Age, and she was nagging me and calling me mean. And I said, almost shouted at her, I'm not mean, and I was being pretty unlovable. And Krista and Nancy, who I didn't even know, came up and gave me a big hug and said, no, you're not mean, you're just tired.
Just 2 days ago, when we were here, my son, who is 6, lost a tiny little cheap plastic frog that I had thrown away, not knowing it was his. And about an hour later, when he was looking for it, I had to fess up, what I had done. And he was very upset with me, but then instead of just writing it out, I got mad back, like, it wasn't my fault.
Well, certainly, yeah, and especially amongst my family. That, to me, is kind of the definition of family. That's what unconditional love means, is that you can behave without any guard, and people around here tend to have their guard down and are not always real careful, as we shouldn't be. We want to be our authentic selves, and sometimes our authentic selves ain't that pretty, but we're loved anyway, and that's part of this, what makes this community special, and it's part of course, what makes families special.
I work in a kitchen and it can get very tense, and my boss is just sort of a gruff, old-fashioned man, but he comes in and says, ask questions, and I'm able to respond without concern for tact, or I'm able to show my frustration in my answer. And it's not so much that he shows me love, but just lets that go and gives me the space to be an unlovable person. And it's something that I have appreciated.
You do things that are not lovable, but people love you anyway. So it's one of the wonders of life that that happens.